pregame is brought to you by Malash's Palace Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. The Malash family has been an integral part of our community since 1951. A proud supporter of Orion Neighborhood Television and Dragon football.
After a rain-interrupted opener last week at Oxford, the Dragons return home for the home opener for 2013. Good evening, everyone. I'm Doug Corliss along with Chris Fritching. And the Dragons did have a rain-interrupted game last night, but they put that rain-out time to good use on Friday night.
They did, and it was 14-14 when play interrupted about 8:37 to go in the third quarter, and to be honest with you, Oxford really dominated that first half in terms of time of possession, 18-6, and there were 4 big penalties that Oxford had that really hurt them in that first half. They really could have made it worse than it was, but like I said, at 14-14, when play was interrupted, and Lake Orion comes back and takes Saturday the next day and outscores them 21-16 on Saturday with a couple big plays on offense and one on special teams. Corey Esther, 89-yard kickoff return for a touchdown on 3rd and 15. A big play from Connor Grant to Chris Lee for about 50 yards. And then, 2 touchdowns, one a 10-yard run by Chris Lee, and then an 11-yard touchdown by Dom Giovinazzo. So those are the big plays that got Lake Orion back on the right track, and ultimately a 35-30 win over Oxford.
Troy Athens comes in tonight, if I can get that right. 2 years ago, we thought they were really going to be a factor in the OAA Red, and they played like it. 7-2 record, made the playoffs. Last year was a disaster, to put it mildly. This year, they came in again with high hopes. They got blown out by Warren Mott last week. What's up with this team?
You know what? Program-wide, their numbers are down, and Coach Hepner from Troy Athens has talked about that a lot, but he likes his team as far as their team unity and their never say die mentality. Unfortunately for the Athens and their program, they've lost 12 straight to Lake Orion here, and last year at Ford Field, it was 68-20. So, back in their minds, they might have that never say die mentality, but their mentality also says that they've lost 12 straight to Lake Orion. As far as their players are concerned, they got a real nice player, Lucas Becerra, a tight end who's already committed to Western Michigan, who is going to be a big factor tonight. And, you can have all the never say die mentality and the team unity you want, but bottom line, you need football players, and we're going to see some of them on Troy Athens tonight. But he's had a couple injuries that have also affected their flow offensively and defensively that remains to be seen whether or not they're going to come back tonight. And if they do, they've got a much better shot to be competitive.
And it is the home opener. We've said it before, I don't care what sport you're doing, the home opener is always special. And tonight, last week we felt like strangers in a strange land. Tonight we're back in the comforts of Dragon Stadium. It can't be better.
It's not better. I mean, look at the beautiful weather, 75+ degrees, and you hear the cheerleaders and the fans cheering as you're walking into the stadium. There's a vibe, there's an excitement, there's an enthusiasm, and you know what? It's Lake Orion football. What do you expect?
We've got it all for you. Stay with us.
Pregame was brought to you by Malash's Palace Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. The Malash family has been an integral part of our community since 1951, a proud supporter of Orion Neighborhood Television and Dragon football. The first quarter of tonight's game is brought to you by Jets Pizza, with 2 convenient locations in the Orion area. Jets Pizza supporting ONTV since 2009. Our scoreboard this half is brought to you by Home Depot, located at 2600 South Lapeer Road in Lake Orion, a proud supporter of Orion Neighborhood Television and Dragon Athletics.
Just before kickoff for tonight's home opener between the Lake Orion Dragons and the Troy Athens Redhawks. Chris, you've got your keys to the game tonight.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, build off of last week's second half. Now, a lot of times coaches will say that, momentum doesn't transfer from one game to the other. But you know what? Coach Bell talked about at the end of the game about how many new guys were starting on the defensive side of the football. And that going back to Saturday and playing Saturday gave them an opportunity to go home, watch some film, and correct some mistakes and so forth. Well, now they've got a whole game under their belt, and they can come out and hopefully showcase in some of the things that they worked on over the course of the week and build on that against a Troy Athens squad. Number two, I think we've said this for, gosh, I don't know how many years, but I mean, start fast. Start fast, meaning in the game, unlike what they did last week. But two, take advantage of that speed that they have, that they utilize. You know, Coach Hepner talks about his squad having some speed as well. We're going to find out who's got speed on either side of the football. We think Lake Orion's got quite a bit of speed, and we know they do based on, you know, the Esters and Lees and Giovanazos and players like that. So we'll find out from a speed standpoint who gets off to that good quality start. And then, you know, bottom line, just, you know, home opener, we talked about at the outset, just go out and play. Just go out and have fun. You're finally on, with the green and white, and you're playing on a green field for the first time this year. I mean, just go out and play and have fun, and you know, good things will happen.
Troy Athens is coached by head coach Josh Hepner. He's in his 5th season at Athens with a 14-23 record overall. The Redhawks were 2-7 in 2002, and Chris, we touched on it in the pregame that so much more was expected of them last year, and now you just don't know what to expect with them. Athens made the playoffs in 2011 when they had a 7-2 record. Lake Orion, we touched on it last week. We touched on it before as the Dragons take the field. Head coach Chris Bell in his 16th season, 130-42 overall, 108-28 in the regular season, 14 of 15 years making the state playoffs. Dragons wearing their home green. The moms formed the tunnel. The Pep Club banner was a little askew, but they got it straightened out.
You know, first game jitters for them too. You know,
first game jitters for them.
First home game, yes.
Talking with Coach Blackstock before the game, and he was talking about Special Assistant Coach Frank Gans helping out the special teams working. He said, you know, you never know what you don't know until you're taught what you don't know. And he said, Coach Frank Gans has just been a blessing. A lot of years with the NFL, with the Lions, the Giants, the Packers, among other teams, and had a good talk with Coach Gans in pregame today. What a great individual to sit down and spend some time with. We'll take a pause right now as the band director Mike Steele leads the Lake Orion Marching Band in our national anthem. Chris, looking at the two rosters across the field, the Dragons roster took up 57 yards. Athens roster went half the distance of the end zone.
As you were talking about earlier, I mean, the numbers in the Athens program are down, and you're right. I mean, we've always talked about that when Lake Orion plays those teams that you know, while they might be they're roughly in enrollment, size-wise, they're not come program-wide, and it's difficult. You got guys going both ways, with the smaller program a lot of times, and the bigger squads can have the luxury of situation substituting, so you can, ultimately, conditioning becomes a factor late in the game.
And Coach Hepner touched on that when I talked to him in the pregame. He said, the junior varsity numbers, he's lucky to be able to, the JV squad or the freshman squad's lucky to be able to put a full practice squad out there.
Here's the thing too, is that, and it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I mean, around the state of Michigan, high school football participation from 2007 to 2012 is down 10.5%. And that's affecting some of these programs. And if you're a program that hasn't traditionally won over the course of X number of years, you know what? The interest in that community or in that school is not going to be there. And as a result, you're not going to have the kids coming out for your program. So I know Coach Hepner is trying to turn that around with what he's been doing, and he's been there for 5 years, and he's very optimistic about what his team can do.
Number 17, Brennan McHugh, and number 28, who's not on the roster. Or let me check my other roster. Devin Terry are back deep for Athens. Brad Schenzer puts a foot into it, taken about the 11-yard line, and buried on the 15 is number 17, Brennan McHugh.
Great open field tackle by number 23, Kevin Woodward. Did a nice job and really avoided any level of being blocked and was able to wrap up and go ahead.
Troy Athens takes over 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. We'll set their offense for you. Number 7, Jake Nelson, is quarterback, and they got 3 backs in the backfield. Hand to the last back through, number 88. That's Luke Pereza. That's the one you spoke about.
Yeah, and he's going to be the one you're going to see a lot of. Again, he's got a good size, 6'4", 235. He's playing right an H-back type format. They need to get a guy the ball. He's already committed to Western Michigan, and he carried the ball 6 times last week for 55 yards.
Nelson kind of in the gun. 2 wideouts. Hand off to one of the upbacks. He's buried about the 17-yard line. Dragons come up with the ball, but it was whistled down.
Jake Nelson last week did not. He was dinged up, and Alex Musat got most of the, if not all of the reps in at quarterback, and Alex is more of a passing quarterback, and Jake Nelson is that option type of quarterback, and Coach Hepner talks about him being one of the best option quarterbacks he's been able to work with.
McHugh is in one of the back positions. Trips double wide to the left, single wide to the right for Athens. Back to throw, throws over the middle, got number 24, Joe Cousins. He's got a 1st down over the 30-yard line.
Lake Orion, their front 4, you did a little stunt with Elkins on the looping to the outside, and bottom line, there wasn't a lot of pressure, and Nelson had a lot of time to be able to complete that ball over the middle for a 1st down for Athens.
So 1st and 10 for the Redhawks from their own 32-yard line, just underway. 10-10 left here in the 1st. Athens comes out, twins to the right, single wide out to the left. Handoff to number 8, Derek Nelson, and he was met right at the line by Brad Check, number 50. Among others.
Yeah, Brennan Rourke was in also on a play coming from his Sam linebacker position. Did a nice job of closing the edge and getting inside on Nelson for really a 2-yard, 1-yard loss.
Yeah, number 54, Austin Edmonds, was in the backfield as soon as the back got the ball. Second down and 11 for Athens. Becerra through the line. He might have gotten back the original yardage plus a yard. Make it third down and 9.
Here's, Athens did lose 47-7 last week, but they rushed for over 200 yards, on the ground. So they spread it out amongst McHugh and Skinner and Becerra and a couple other guys as well. So, they can run the football. They just had trouble on the flip side of the football. One, obviously scoring points, but two, they couldn't stop anybody either.
Josh Duncan got up off the bottom of the pile on that last play. Third down and long. Back, got pressure. Taken down, and I think they're going to call him for a horse collar. Brennan Rourke's going to get called on a horse collar. Personal foul, horse collar against Lake Orion.
Boy, they had him contained. They did a nice job of corralling initially, of corralling Nelson. But you're right. He's athletic enough, and he got himself in a position where he could, just got outside of Rourke, and Rourke just got his hand up near where he shouldn't, and as a result, a 15-yard penalty.
Now that will not necessarily, that's not an automatic first down. So it'll be third down. If anything, they got fourth down. They got a yard gain out of it. Oh, they're repeating third down. At first they showed fourth down, then they repeat the down on the penalty. So it's third down and 8 for Athens on their own 34-yard line. Nelson in the shotgun, timeout on the field. Timeout by Lake Orion.
Yeah, Coach Tooley wanted to call a timeout. I don't know if it was more necessarily about personnel, but just a question as to why it's not fourth down and they still get the third down over again. So I think more so than anything, Coach Tooley's not even talking to the defense right now. More wanted an explanation from Coach Bell, or get from Coach Bell the reason why.
Yeah, Coach Bell was over talking to referee Lyle Sanderson, just getting a clarification. And you're right, with the penalty, you repeat the down. While we have this break in the action, we'll remind you that DVD copies can be purchased by calling ONTV at 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060. For only $10, you can get a copy of not only this game, but any game or program in our broadcast vault. DVD copies 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060. Third down and 8 for the Redhawks. Alex Masad is in at quarterback. He's more the running quarterback, or is he the thrower? He's the thrower. Drops the pass, looks, got pressure, down he goes. And Brennan Rourke got him that time right around the knees.
Yeah, Brennan called his name about 3 times already in about 6 plays or so, but he did a nice job of taking a good pass rush lane to the quarterback, as well as number 49, Jack Luby, and again, corralling this time Alex Musat and a big 8-yard loss, and as a result, the Redhawks are going to have to punt.
Drew Casey back deep for the Dragons. Dropped the ball, and he recovered it. He had a little pressure right at the end as he was getting ready to make the catch and just took his eye off the ball.
Yeah, it was also one of those balls that there's not a lot of wind out there, but it was one of those knuckleball type, and those are some of the toughest ones to catch. And you're right, when you got traffic in your face, there's a lot of things going on. Bottom line, Lake Orion got it back in quality field position.
Lake Orion takes over 1st and 10 on their own 41-yard line. Four wide look. Zach Arnold and Corey Esther split to the left. Chris Lee and number 1 Zach Green split to the right. 21, Dom Giovinazzo. Lee got the handoff and dropped it. Athens picks it up, and they're going to get a touchdown. Giovinazzo got the toss and again took his eye off the ball.
Yeah, I think it was Chris Lee.
Chris Lee
coming around on the jet sweep, and for whatever reason, obviously didn't secure it. And Lucas Becerra, there's the fumble, and tries to dive on it, and that, as a result, they had about 6 Redhawks to the football. You know, and it's plays like that, obviously, early in a football game that gives a young team and an inexperienced team like the Redhawks some life. And that's certainly not the way you want to start if you're a Dragons follower.
Number 16, Brian Lawson, gets the extra point. 7:16 left in the first quarter. Troy Athens 7, Lake Orion nothing. Yeah, that's one of those things that by the time he got the toss, and whether he took his eye off it again or what, and it's easy to do. You're seeing all these shirts coming at you. You're trying to find out where you want to go, and you got to secure the ball first.
Chris had a big game last week. 6 carries, 69 yards. He scored 2 touchdowns, I mentioned at the outset. He had a big 50-yard reception on a 3rd and 15. And, you know, he had 135 yards total offense for the Dragons last week. He's going to be one of their go-to guys. You know what? He can't let that get him down. He's going to be getting the ball again this game, and he's got to shake that off and go on and get ready to play the next play.
And that's the best thing to have happen to a back. When you have somebody get the ball in your hands again. So number 13, Jalen Wiggins is back deep. Corey Ester's back deep. And number 34, Brandon Gash, back deep for the Dragons.
Well, we talked about getting off to a fast start, but that's, It
was a fast start.
The other way. Fast start, absolutely.
Number 16, Brian Lawson will kick off. Pooch kick, short. Kyle Bell's going to take it about the 20. He's up over the 25, cuts to the 30, got open field, over midfield, down to the 40. And that's exactly what you need in a case like that. They thought they'd give a little pooch kick, keep it away from the deep backs, and Kyle Bell just turned it up for
well, that's just it. I mean,
50 yards, about 45 yards.
Did a nice job. I'm guessing that's probably not the return that they had designed based on the way where that was kicked. Kyle does a nice job of finding a seam, and the Redhawks do a poor job of staying in their lanes, and as a result, the Dragons start on Troy Athens side of the field.
Corey Ester around the right side. He's got a seam. He's got a first down inside right around the 20-yard line.
Corey ran the ball nice that play. Corey ran the ball 6 carries last year. Didn't have a great average. Only gained 13 yards on the ground, but he had that big kickoff return that opened up the game last week against Oxford.
Connor Grant's a quarterback. Give up the middle to to Dom Giovinazzo. He's got a gain of about 3 or 4.
We talked last week too about the balance that you can go to any one of 3 or 4 or 5 backs. Chris Lee, Zach Arnold, Corey Ester, Dom Giovinazzo, Matt Krause, all those guys you got to be aware of. And they had some nice balance last week. They've started that way this week.
Bunch look for the Dragons. Zach Arnold comes in motion. He gets the handoff coming around the left side. He's clear. Touchdown, Lake Orion Dragons.
You know what sprung that one? Number 21, Dom Giovinazzo with a heck of a block and turn him back to make a great block. Sprung Zach Arnold to the left-hand side, 17 yards out. Touchdown, Lake Orion. Back to that quick start we talked about.
There it is, right.
Bam, right there.
Bam, right there, and that was after.
And a great job downfield by, I think it was Zach Green, number 1, doing a nice job on the perimeter.
Luke Belavacqua in for the extra point. Kyle Bell will hold. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 6:09 left here in the first quarter. We're tied at 7. While we have a break, we will also tell you, since I'm late in announcing this, that the first quarter of tonight's game is brought to you by Jets Pizza. Pizza, submarines, salads, and wings with 2 convenient locations in the Orion area. Jets Pizza supporting ONTV since 2009.
So,
you get a score, score yourself.
A minute or so later, Lake Orion puts 7 back on the board, and that's exactly what they needed to do against the Troy Athens team. That Troy Athens team who had some great momentum going, taking the lead on the road, place they haven't won or a team they haven't won against in 12 tries.
Schenzer, end over end kick down to about the 3. Brought back out by number 9. I don't have a number 9.
Justin Pavlicek
Looked
made
like it was probably number 13, Will Mooney on the return.
Sorry, that was Drew Casey. Tripped up the returner that time.
So Athens takes over 1st and 10 on their own 23-yard line. Same look, double wide, full house backfield for Athens.
Jake Nelson not under center, but in this shotgun.
Handoff, number 28, who is on the other roster.
Devin Terry.
Devin Terry on the run. He gets maybe a yard, bring up 2nd and 9.
We talked about the young guys for Lake Orion's defense, and you know what? They've done a nice job in this series in one play of maintaining and containing, I should say, the Redhawks.
Handoff, number 8, Derek Nelson. He's up over the 30 to maybe the 32-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 1.
Trying to go quick, trying to get Lake Orion in a personnel situation.
Handoff to Becerra, and he didn't get it. Trying to see who was in it. Connor Grant was in there.
You know, that's we talked about the young
Trent Elkins.
Lake Orion defense. That's a great play. That's a great confidence builder. You got a 4th and 2, 4th and 1, and you stop their best player on that 3rd short. That's a great confidence booster, forcing the Redhawks to kick.
Almost blocked. And it's going to take a kind of a sideways bounce, be downed at the 30. Number 20, Drew Casey, was back deep for the Dragons. So the Dragons will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20. You know, I was talking to Coach Bell before the game, and we talked about Connor Grant. And I said, are you worried about overuse? And he said, yeah. You know, he says, I am. He said, I got to find a way to get him off the field on defense.
You think he wants to come off the field, though?
I don't think he does.
At all?
But
no, he doesn't. He's that type of player.
I mean, he'll play just about every snap.
Absolutely.
Quarterback, he's your middle linebacker, and he's your long snapper, by the way. Giovinazzo, the lone back, kind of a bunch formation. Zach Arnold comes in motion. He gets the toss coming around the left side, and he's hemmed in, and he's going down. They're going to call it about a 4-yard loss.
Yeah, they could just never get the edge on Lucas Becerra. He did a nice job of swimming over the block of Corey Esther, and as a result, he comes in and keeps Arnold from getting to the outside. There was a swarm of 3 other Redhawks around him.
Even though it was a loss, Dom Giovinazzo did a smart thing. He was coming in at one of the Redhawks, saw he was going to get him in the back, and just stopped. Connor Grant back to throw, rolling, throws to Chris Lee. He's got a first down and more, out of bounds, about the 46-yard line.
Talked about it last week, but Connor really does a nice job of that play-action fake on that boot waggle play.
Right
his head follows the ball, the fake, and then just dumps it off to a guy in open space, and Chris Lee, and Chris Lee does what Chris Lee does and goes and gets the first down, runs hard.
1st and 10 for the Dragons from the 46. 4 wide look. Giovinazzo's the lone setback. He gets the carry up the middle. Got a gain of about 7, maybe 6. Over into Athens territory, right between the 47 and the 48-yard line. So it'd be 2nd down and about 3.5. 2:55 left here in the first quarter. We're tied at 7. Esther in motion. Giovinazzo up the middle, and was that him or
Kraus?
That was Matt Kraus up the middle.
Lake Orion early on is doing some personnel changes and trying to get some new, I shouldn't say new guys in, but some different guys in. Trying to work on some personnel combinations. And
yeah. Brad Schenzer checks in at one of the wideout positions, the tight end position. Full house look. Matt Kraus, first down and more. He's inside the 40 to the 36-yard line. And we saw them do that last year. They changed their whole offensive philosophy. And they go to that full, almost, it's a full house look, almost like you'd use at a goal line.
3rd and short. Great call, great idea.
And they're staying with it. Schenzer stays at one of the tight end positions. Matt Kraus with the ball again. He gets maybe a yard.
Nice penetration by number 18 for the Redhawks, Patron Bartnowak. On that little trap play by the Dragons.
I see what you mean. From up here, the red numbers on the white shirts are kind of not a real good contrast.
I've got mine. You've got yours on.
I got my glasses
on. Okay, all right,
on.
fair enough.
We forgot the binoculars. Connor Grant rolling left, looking, throwing deep. He's got Schenzer and just out of his reach, and he had 2 Blackhawks with him.
You know what? As Connor turns the corner there, initially as he turns the corner there, he's got 3 guys that are open. He's got a deep guy on the corner route. He's got a crossing route. And he's got a back out in the flat. And as that ball floated up in the air, a couple of Redhawks have got to make an adjustment. And, yeah, 2 guys were on top and thus incomplete. But that's a situation where Connor's got to be maybe looking a little shorter to intermediate routes as those guys were open as well.
And I'm sure he'll see that on tape tomorrow. Trips to the left. Connor back to pass. Little screen to Giovinazzo. Breaks 1 tackle, gets down inside the 30 to about the 27-yard line, where it's going to be 4th down for the Dragons. Number 36, Kevin Hazen, in on the tackle for Athens. 4th down, the Dragons are going for it. Tight formation. Chris Lee gets the carry around left end. He's got a first down. Number 31, Nick Valancourt, lost his helmet. He's going to have to come out for a play.
That's just hard running by Chris Lee. He gets safety comes from a secondary and has a great chance to make a tackle for a loss. And as strong as Chris is, he kept his feet running and was able to get that first down.
Toss back to Matt Kraus, trying to go around the right side. He's got a first down and more. Inside the 10, first down Lake Orion.
You know, that was Giovinazzo who lost his helmet before the play before, and
I thought that was 31.
Yeah, no, it was Giovinazzo. As a result, Kraus goes in and runs a nice toss play to the outside, and gets a big first down for the Dragons.
I thought, okay, we'll get it better as the season goes along. First and 10 for the Dragon. First and goal. Matt Kraus on the carry in, touchdown Lake Orion Dragons. 9-yard touchdown run.
See, what's the moral of that? Those last 2 plays. Don't lose your helmet. Then you won't have to come out. And guess what Matt Kraus does? He takes it and gets a big first down and then runs it in from 9 yards for 6 points.
Number 56, Austin Jones, got a great kickout block. Opened the hole up. Belavacqua on for the extra point. Kyle Bell will hold. High snap, kick is down, kick is up, and the kick is good. 80 yards in 11 plays for the Dragons. 5.6 seconds left here in the first quarter. Lake Orion 14, Troy Athens 7.
So think about it. You've played a quarter, almost a full quarter, and offensively, Lake Orion hasn't been stopped. It's just that one miscue where Lake Orion hurt themselves with the Chris Lee fumble.
Yep.
But you know what? That goes with any game, no matter what you're playing youth all the way to the pros. You win the turnover battle more times than not, you're going to win a football game. You know, right now Lake Orion's up by 7 and losing the turnover battle and so forth. But bottom line, you can't come into games like this and hurt yourself. And Lake Orion's done a nice job of overcoming that miscue to take a 14-7 lead.
And Troy Athens is playing aggressively. There's no question that in their aggressiveness. At least on defense. We got to look for that same aggressiveness on offense. Brad Schenzer kick off. Short end over end kick taken on the 7.
It's a seam.
He's got a seam. Number 28, Devin Terry on the return. That's the end of the first quarter. Troy Athens will have it 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Your score, Lake Orion 14, Troy Athens 7.
This quarter of play was brought to you by Jets Pizza, a proud supporter of ONTV since 2009 with 2 convenient locations in the Orion area. The second quarter of tonight's game is brought to you by Hungry Howie's, located at 195 North Park Road, a proud supporter of Orion Neighborhood Television and Dragon Athletics.
Go mobile with ONTV anytime. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube on your mobile devices. Connect with ONTV to see what's happening in our new studio, see upcoming events, and watch ONTV programs in high definition on demand. ONTV, working to bring Lake Orion to the world.
Scoring in the first quarter, Troy Athens scored first on a 41-yard fumble return by Luke Vizera. Dragons came right back on a 17-yard run by Zach Arnold. And then Lake Orion just scored on a 9-yard touchdown run by Matt Kraus. So Athens takes over 1st and 10 from the 30. Sun's starting to go down and blinding the people in the Athens stands.
Alex Musat is in at quarterback now. Again, he's their throwing quarterback.
Yeah, Nelson doesn't come out. He splits out wide left. Comes in motion right. He gets the toss. And he's swarmed under by a bunch of green shirts for maybe a 2-yard loss.
Okay, we talked about at the outset, as we've talked about a lot, the team speed. I think you could see right there for a brief moment in time, it looked like Jake Nelson had the opportunity to secure the edge. And as you said, you had a swarm of Dragons in and around, and for a 1-yard loss. So you're seeing team speed on the perimeter, and right now through the first quarter plus, we've seen the Dragons have that upper hand in team speed.
From the gun, 3 wides, 2 backs. Throws over the middle, tipped and incomplete. For about the last 3 or 4 years, Coach Don Luby's been sitting there telling me, put his name on the air. Well, Don, you just got knocked over on that last run. It's good to see you jumped right up and you're okay.
Nice job. I couldn't tell if that was tipped at the line of scrimmage or was it tipped in the second level. I don't know if Connor Grant knocked that down or not, but again, 3rd and 11, 3rd and long. You don't want to get yourselves in those types of situations if you're Athens.
Musat in the gun, and we got a false start. Number 17, Brennan McHugh jumped.
You know what? And I think that's because Lake Orion was doing a lot of shifting and rotating on defense pre-snap, and as a result, Athens kind of got anxious, and you take it back 5. You don't want to get into 3rd and 11. You certainly don't want to be into 3rd and 16. That's what Athens is right now.
So 3rd and 16 from their own 24-yard line. 3 wide look. Musat still a quarterback. The throw got pressure and down he goes.
Brad Check.
Number 67, Justin Cathers, come in and got him from behind.
Brad Check coming off the edge does a nice job of running the hoop, as they call it, as a defensive lineman. Running the hoop and trying to get that edge and dip that inside shoulder and make sure you attack the back shoulder of that quarterback, and he did a nice job of maintaining that relentless pass rush, and as a result, Athens has to punt.
Drew Casey back deep for the Dragons.
Jeez.
Almost blocked. Kyle Bell almost got in there. Ball takes a sideways bounce, goes out about the 36-yard line, which is where the Dragons will take over 1st and 10. So a 3 and out by Troy Athens after a Dragons score is not really the way you want to come back.
It was a quick 3 and out from as far as a time of possession standpoint as well. And again, if you're Athens, you want to make this game go and keep that clock going and not go out of bounds and not throw incompletions. You want to make it a game to your favor. And as right now, offensively at least, Athens has not done that.
Esther in motion. Giovinazzo up the middle. He gets maybe a yard. One thing I've noticed about these Troy Athens defenders is they're staying at home. They're not following all the motion and everything. They're staying at home, keeping their assignments.
Becerra in on the stop again, along with number 17, Brennan McHugh. And he's, Coach Hepner talks about McHugh, number 17, having a good nose for the football as well, and there he did.
Play fake. Connor's going to keep it. He's got a 1st down and more over midfield down to about the 41-yard line.
I don't know about you, but that to me looked like, and it could very well be wrong, but that to me looked like a busted play. But
no, I think that was a design keep and run.
Great block downfield by number 1, Zach Green. Whatever it is, it was positive, it was successful, it was the 1st down.
1st down on the Athens 42. Chris Lee in motion, he gets the toss. He's got room. Makes a spin move. He got tangled up with number 28. I'm gonna have to add him to the roster. Devin Terry.
Great cutback here
Number 73, Ryan Slazarek does a nice job of taking his defensive lineman out, and Chris Lee does a nice job of cutting back, and as a result, you typically cut back against the grain, and that time Athens over pursued, cut back against the grain for a big first down.
Giovinazzo up the middle. Gain of about 5 down to the 25-yard line. Dragons going no huddle. Coach Bell and Coach Darren Tooley signaling the plays in. Only one of them means something. Caught number 1, Zach Green. He's got a first down.
Nice, easy completion on the little hitch route. That's Zach's first catch of the season. I'm sure he'll have many more as the season goes along.
Oh, no question. No question. The only thing that I've noticed in the last couple of years is that the quarterbacks don't operate much out of the shotgun anymore. That used to be a Lake Orion staple. Corey Esther on the run, he gets knocked forward for another couple yards. He's inside the 10 to about the 9.
Yeah, I even think now you're starting to see, you know, that the size and the technique of Lake Orion take effect in that you're not seeing much penetration out of the white jerseys in the Lake Orion backfield, and as a result you're getting these 5, 6, 7+ yard carries, and that can really wear on you mentally as well.
Connor Grant keeps it, and he's dropped.
Tell you what, Becerra, he's a football player, huh?
Yeah, he didn't go in for any of the fake. He stayed right with the quarterback and dropped him for a loss. So that makes it 3rd and 9.
You're right. And as big and as strong as he is, and that's a tough one for Connor to get out of the grasp of him.
Absolutely. So 3rd and 9 from the 13. Connor back to throw, looks, got Zach Green, and his momentum took him out of bounds on about the 8. So it'll be 4th. They're calling him out on the 9, so it'll be 4th and 4.
We talked about Zach getting some more catches. He just got one right there.
He just got another one. Now we have trips to the left. Zach Green's the lone wide out to the right. Giovinazzo's the lone back. Looks, throws. Touchdown, Lake Orion Dragons. Got his first 3 catches and his first touchdown.
Tell you what, ran a very, very nice route. Knew exactly where the front end zone pylon was. Runs a route there. Connor Grant throws a beautiful football where no one else but Zach can catch it. Plenty of protection up front. Dom Giovinazzo does a nice job of helping out that inside penetration through backside A-gap. Does a nice job of throwing a ball. 6 points. Lake Orion.
Belavacqua on for the extra point. Bell holding. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 7:38 left here in the second quarter. 21-7, Lake Orion.
Big 4th down play. Big 4th down play.
Have you ever wanted to make your own TV show or operate a camera for a live sporting event, be part of our happy crew up here in the booth? Well, ONTV can make it happen. Your first step, though, is to sign up for orientation. It's free and offers you a look behind the scenes of ONTV. Call 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060 for more information. And we have to mention that Joe Velez is manning the board tonight. Ian Locke gets the night off, so we put everything in his sort of capable hands.
You talked about a happy booth. There's a happy crowd. There's a happy Dragons football team, and
Great way to start the home openers to this point in time.
Yeah, we got a good crowd here tonight. Athens even filled up their stands a little bit. Schenzer will kick off. Higher end over end kick down to about the 7. Brought out and dropped, and we had another helmet come off. This one's number 10, Zach Serzo. He's going to have to come out and sit out a bit. Number 28, Devin Terry on the return. So Athens takes over, 1st and 10 from the 22. Athens has all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Lake Orion has 2. Joe Cousins split wide to the left. Musad is in at quarterback. And he tries to keep her. Falls, oh, he flipped back at the last minute to number 17, Brennan McHugh. It was hard to, it almost looked like when he got hit, he threw the ball up in the air.
Yeah, I don't think that was designed as such. He kind of gets wrapped up and he has an opportunity to get the ball out and does a nice job of doing that. It timed up well to McHugh and they got a big first down.
First down on the play.
Yeah, you don't expect to see that out of Musat being their throwing quarterback, but he ran the option and at least at that point ran it well.
Musat's still a quarterback in the gun.
Or was fortunate, let me say that.
Short pass out on the right flat. Number 7, Jake Nelson on the reception. He's got another first down.
So you're the Redhawks, so 2 first downs in a row, and those are the things you've got to do to start to stay in this game, and from a mental standpoint, you've got to win the little battles. You've got to move the football down the field. You've got to get into Lake Orion's side of the football field. You've got to put points on the board slowly but surely. This game is far, far from over, but you've got to be able to do something offensively, and to this point in time, they haven't been able to do that.
Yeah, the first drive was 9 yards and or 9 plays, and they still had to punt. They followed that up with 2 3-and-outs. So 2 first downs. Musad on the keeper, toss back to McHugh. He's right at midfield and drop, gain of 4. So they're going to go a little option look now. I don't know if we're going to see. I guess we're not going to see that. So 2nd down and 6. Devin Terry moves into a slot left. Throw complete to Nelson. He's brought down by number 4, Christian James.
Yeah,
Brendan Rourke also in on the tackle.
Coach Hepner is also upset. He walked way past the top of the numbers and saying something to Musat. Something obviously happened, but it was a nice ball, nice catch. Very close to a first down.
They're gonna call for a measurement. While we're here, I don't think I did that in pregame. Our officiating crew is an Oakland County crew. Lyle Sanderson's the referee. The Oxford Flash, Mike Dunn, is the head linesman. Dwayne Hetherington is the line judge. Doug McKnight is the umpire. And Fred Casavateris is the back judge. They're about a foot short, it looks.
So this is Athens' best drive so far tonight, and they've made it to Lake Orion side of the field, and they put together a couple first downs in a row, looking to make a third first down in this drive.
So 3rd and inches for the Redhawks. Musat at first was held up, and his second effort got him over for the first down. We're going to throw it down to the sideline. Nope, are we not? We have a sideline reporter this year down on the sideline, but we're not ready to go to him yet. So we'll try that later on. 1st and 10 for Athens, inside Orion territory. 4 wide look, little pistol look. Musa and number 24, Joey Cousins, just flat dropped it. He had it in his hands and dropped it.
You either hear footsteps or you're one of those situations where you think you're wide open. I think it might have been a little bit of both. He saw Connor Grant coming from his linebacker spot over on the slant, and that's one of those things we always talk about, the fundamentals of the game. Catch the ball, tuck the ball, and then turn it upfield, and certainly Cousins didn't do it that time.
That'll drive a wide receiver coach nuts, won't it?
And a quarterback, and a coach, and a teammate, all the above.
2nd and 10 for Athens. Musat up the middle, and he's dropped. He was initially hit by number 34, Brandon Gash. Connor Grant and company in to secure the tackle. Gain of about 3. That'll make it 3rd down and 4. Ball's right on the 37-yard line. Cousins split wide to the left. Terry's in the backfield with number 4, Luke Spennett. Musat's still the quarterback. Off the hands of Devin Terry, and I don't know if he just threw it too hard. I don't think Terry was expecting the ball when he got it. So now it's a 4th down after what had been a pretty good drive by Athens. 4th and 4 from the 37, and they're going to go for it. Four wide look, single back in the backfield. Musat to throw, 1st down. Number 7, Jake Nelson on the reception.
A lot of time to throw. Again, throws a nice ball. Christian James, number 4 on the coverage there, but threw a ball where only Athens could catch it. Nice low away to the sideline. 1st down. He knew where the sticks were. 1st down, Redhawks.
Dragons making changes on the fly, and wisely, Coach Tooley called timeout.
Yeah, otherwise that was too many men on the field. Or
Trent Elkins was trying to get off the field, and Athens saw that and was going to hurry the snap. And okay, we're going to go down to our sideline guy.
Guys, even though Lake Orion has had a lot of success running the ball to the outside and passing the ball, it sounds like on the next offensive formation, they're going to go to more of a power formation to try to open up that middle and gain some more yards down the field that way. So that's what I'm hearing down here so far.
All right, thanks a lot. We got a timeout on the field, 3:47 left here in the 2nd quarter. Dragons up 21-7. Yeah, that's one of the things you're told from the minute you start playing football is you run off the field, and that time the change came in late, and Coach Tooley saw it and very wisely called the timeout. So 1st and 10 for Athens. Ball's on the 31. Musad back to throw, and down he goes. Brendan Rourke, Josh Duncan, and company. Connor Grant, of course, had his.
Yeah, that's a situation where, Connor Grant up the middle and Rourke and Duncan on the outsides do a nice job of corralling Musat. in that pocket, and there's really nowhere to go. You got your outside rushers attacking the back shoulder of the quarterback. You got your interior rushers attacking the front shoulder of the quarterback. That's exactly the way you want to do it, textbook.
Second, 17. Hit as he throws. Are they calling it a fumble, or was his arm moving?
That's got to be Lake Orion football.
That
That's
is a fumble.
That's a heck of a play by Brennan Rourke. Heck of a play. Backside pressure. Again, running that hoop we talked about. Wham! Right there. Does a nice job before Musat's about to throw the ball. Gets that right arm up to strip it out of Musat's hand. And luckily for Lake Orion, they were able to pounce on the football, get the ball back here with under 3 minutes to go here in a second.
So both teams have traded fumbles. Lake Orion takes over on their own 36-yard line. Green and Zach Arnold are the wideouts.
Inside.
Corey Esther got the ball, but there was a lot of penetration by Athens, and he just got caught up.
There was. I think if he was able to see it inside right, no, there was no way he was able to do that. Yeah, you're right. Too much penetration by the Redhawks that time. Brings up a 2nd and 16.
Four wide look. Giovinazzo's the back. He gets a carry up the middle. Little seam, closed up quickly, got a gain of about 4. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 11 for the Dragons.
Haven't been in these situations, this 3rd and long at all tonight.
Not a whole lot of times, no. 2 minutes left here in the first half. Trips to the left or to the right. Connor Grant going to throw. Got Corey Esther. Got it. Great concentration by Corey. And Giovinazzo's a little slow to get up.
Look at Connor standing in the pocket doing a nice job. And look at the concentration on Corey Esther.
How great is that?
Number 24, Joey Cousins, tips it, and that's, that's great concentration. Great ball by Connor. Way to stand up in the pocket.
So 1st down from the 24-yard, call it the 23. 1:34 left here in the first half. Connor back to throw, quick pitch, and nobody turned around.
Yeah, there was miscommunication there. We had 2 receivers, Zach Green and Chris Lee, in the same area, so there was obviously miscommunication in the route.
2nd down and 10 with 1:28 left.
I believe that's Connor's first incompletion.
I believe you're right. Chris Lee and Zach Green split right. Esther in motion. Connor back to throw. He's got Corey inside the 20. Down to, they're marking at about the 17. Call it the 18.
It's always a good thing that Lake Orion's always done a good job of getting the ball to their athletes in space and getting the ball to Esther, getting the ball to Arnold, getting the ball to whomever it might be in space, and let them do what they do.
Trips left. Connor rolling right, looking, throws, touchdown Lake Orion Dragons. Number 2, Josh Bays. Connor rolled right and just waited for time. Even up here, you could see Josh break open.
Well, Connor's initial look is down here at number 1, Zach Green, who runs a comeback route. Then Corey Esther in the slot does a nice job of reroute, taking his route vertical once he saw he was covered. But once Connor looked back to Corey, he also saw backside that Josh Bays runs the post route wide open. Good recognition, good composure as you're rolling out
by Connor Grant, touchdown.
70 yards, 5 plays for the Dragon touchdown. 18-yard touchdown reception by Josh Bays. Belavacqua on for the extra point. Kick is up, and it hit the upright and is no good. 50.5 seconds left here in the first half. Dragons 27, Troy Athens 7. Be sure to tune in to replays of your favorite games right here on ONTV. Tune in Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 1 p.m. for the most current games in our lineup. Games are also replayed throughout the week, so check our program guide on our webpage at orionontv.org for replay times that best fit your viewing schedule. Also visit our YouTube link for games on demand at www.orionontv.org.
We talked last week about Connor Grant having, the inexperience at the quarterback position, not having a start or not many plays in. He was 4 of 6 last week for 112 yards and a touchdown, and we'll get the stats at halftime, but he's done a really nice job of staying composed and completing the footballs and throwing nice balls here in this first half.
Brad Schenzer kicks off, short kick, taken at the 10 by Devin Terry. He takes it up to the 30, and Athens will take over there first and 10 with 44.2 remaining in the first half.
This is a situation now, if you're Athens, you probably just want to get out of the half here and go into halftime and try to make your adjustments. Although, I say that, you've got 3 timeouts left, and it's almost a situation where what do you have to lose? We'll find out what Coach Hepner decides to do.
Also mentioned that our scoreboard for the first half of this game is brought to you by Home Depot at 2600 South Lapeer Road. Home Depot, the world's largest home improvement specialty retailer, is a one-stop shop for the do-it-yourselfer. Gain of about 4 on first down brings up 2nd and 6, 40.5 seconds left.
You reminded me I got to do some weekend projects around the house.
Go to Home Depot.
I will do that.
Four wide look. Musat back to throw. Got number 24. That's Joe Cousins. He's got a first down close to the 45-yard line.
I think Musat really gives him the best opportunity to get back in this football game, the way he throws the ball, and he's done a nice job.
Yeah, Athens is going to call timeout. They were a little disorganized. Number 17, Brendan McHugh, wasn't quite sure where he should line up. So Coach Hepner just called timeout.
Well, is this the way you want to start a football game? We down 7-0. The Dragons have come back and scored 27 straight. I mean, that's, although the start was slow, the Dragons certainly got back on track fairly quickly.
I'm sure this is kind of what they had in mind, because really they stopped Athens on their first drive. It was only the turnover on the punt that gave them their only points. So, yeah, I think their defensive game plans worked very well so far. First and 10 from the 45. Musat back to throw. Got pressure. Incomplete. Intended for Becerra.
That's one of those situations where Musat sees Brad Check coming off the edge towards him in his passing lane, and he's worried about, 1, is he going to knock it down? 2, is he going to hit me? And as a result, he left that short to Becerra.
He probably threw that a little before he really wanted to.
And who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't?
you got Brad Check coming at you. 6 foot, 200 pounds.
2nd and 10. Musat in the gun. Handoff inside to number 8, Derek Nelson.
Guess who? Brad Check.
Brad Check on the tackle. No gain. Brings up 3rd and 10. And I think they're going to run out of time before they get another play off. That's the end of the first half. Your score, Lake Orion 27, Troy Athens 7. We're going to throw it back to the Oxford Bank halftime show. You're watching exclusive coverage of Lake Orion Dragon football here on Orion Neighborhood Television.
The second quarter of tonight's game was brought to you by Hungry Howie's, located at 195 North Park Road in Lake Orion. A proud supporter of Orion Neighborhood Television and Dragon Athletics.
Hello and welcome to the Oxford Bank Halftime Show presented by Oxford Bank, the oldest commercial bank headquartered in Oakland County, operated continuously under local ownership and management since 1884. I'm your host, Chris Arita. We're glad you could join us for tonight's action. The Dragons take a 27-7 lead into halftime, looking poised to get their second win of the young season. More to come on this game later, but first, let's take a look at some scores around the OAA Red. The 0-1 Pontiac Phoenix are on the road, taking on the 1-0 Stony Creek Cougars in Rochester Hills. This one is a rout with Stony Creek leading 49-13 at the halfway point. Stony Creek's Joe Cox has run all over Pontiac, scoring 3 rushing touchdowns, including scores of 54 and 24 yards. It's a tight one in Troy, where the Colts are up against the Falcons of Rochester. Troy went ahead in the first quarter by 7, but Rochester has scored 2 unanswered touchdowns to take a 14-7 lead into halftime. Looking to bounce back from their disappointing road loss last week, Clarkston currently leads the Lakers of West Bloomfield 22-12 at the half. Here are some other scores from the OAA. In the blue, Seaholm leads Avondale 28-21. Royal Oak is up on Ferndale 17-0, and Birmingham Groves is beating up on Hazel Park 34-6. In the white, Rochester Adams leads Farmington Harrison 7-0. Southfield is leading 22-7 at the half against Farmington. Again, the Dragons currently lead at the half 27-7 over the Redhawks. Before we get back to the game action, here are some highlights from last week's games. Just in case you missed it, the battle for the coveted 00 trophy ensued once again as the season opener for Lake Orion and Oxford took place to kick off the 2013 season for both squads. This year, Oxford had home field advantage, and boy did they use it to the fullest. From the opening kickoff, Oxford sat in the driver's seat. Junior quarterback Glacier Wellington managed the Wildcats' offense, and although no points were put up in the first quarter, a 1-yard run by John Patrick on 4th and goal put the first points on the board for Oxford, giving them the lead 7-0. Both teams continued to exchange blows after that, no team able to pull away, and they went that way into halftime, tied 14-14. The start of the second half was no more friendly than the first, as both teams' defenses yielded nothing. But there was a stoppage in play when lightning struck, and the game would be delayed until Saturday afternoon. When the match continued, Orion seemed to catch the lightning from the previous night in a bottle, and they stormed to a 28-17 lead, going on a 14-3 run, which included a touchdown-stopping red zone stand, a 90-yard kickoff return, and another run from 11 yards out. Later in the fourth quarter, with the Dragons up 35-30, a strong defensive stand sealed the victory for Lake Orion, and the 00 trophy is making its stay in Dragon Country. For Oxford, Wallington finished with 153 yards on 24 carries, and he went 9 of 14 through the air for 113 yards. He scored twice on the ground and once through the air. Ben Line rushed for 114 yards on 25 carries, including an 11-yard touchdown run. Lake Orion running back Chris Lee ran for touchdowns from 12 and 10 yards. OAA Red favorite, the Clarkston Wolves, were up against Rochester Adams. The Wolves came into their season opener ranked number 3 in the state, already being penciled in for the state championship game. They looked at the Highlanders of Rochester Adams as an easy win, an appetizer to their season that should seemingly go unscathed. With a virtual David versus Goliath matchup, Clarkston faithful were already chalking up the win. However, Adams had different plans. The game ensued on Friday night in Highlander Stadium, and out of the gate, Rochester Adams seized control, scoring first to go up 7-0. After a botched extra point, the Highlander defense stood tall and stopped Clarkston on a 4th and goal from the 3 on a play that would have leveled the score. Adams got the ball back and put up another touchdown on the board, leading 12-0. They tried going for a 2-point conversion to make up for the missed PAT, however it was no good. Same story as the Oxford Orion game, as weather halted the game in the third quarter. When the game continued on Saturday, Clarkston scored to make it close, but could not make the full comeback as they fell to Rochester Adams with a final score of 7-12. The storyline for the game changed, however, as people were not talking about what Clarkston did wrong, but what Rochester Adams did right. Clarkston running back Ian Erickson finished with 9 rushes for 56 yards and a touchdown. Adams quarterback Matt Sokol rushed 20 times for 81 yards, completing 4 of 6 passes for 38 yards. He also caught a pass for 6 yards. Running back Clarence Broadnaw rushed for 86 yards on 12 carries. We're just about ready to kick things off in the second half. Thank you for watching the Oxford Bank Halftime Show. I'm your host, Chris Arita. Now back to Doug and Chris in Dragon Stadium.
Our scoreboard this half is brought to you by Checkers, located at 1476 South Lapeer Road in Lake Orion. A proud supporter of Orion Neighborhood Television and Dragon Athletics.
Lake Orion leading the Troy Athens Redhawks 27-7. Doug Corliss with Chris Fritching and our sideline reporter Kevin McCormick bringing you all the action. Troy Athens scored first on a Lake Orion fumble of a punt. Number 88, Luke Vizera, took it in from 41 yards out, gave Troy Athens a 7-0 lead. Dragons came right back on a 5-yard touchdown reception by number 5, Zach Arnold. Dragons struck again, 9-yard touchdown reception. 9-yard touchdown run by Matt Kraus. PAT was good. Lake Orion scored again in the second quarter on a 9-yard touchdown reception by number 1, Zach Green. Dragons finished out the first half scoring with an 18-yard touchdown reception by number 2, Josh Bays. We'll remind you that the second half scoreboard is brought to you by Checkers. Located at 1476 South Lapeer Road, the home for burgers, fries, cola, wings, fish, hot dogs, the big chicken, and more. Chris, the Dragons seem to make more use of their opportunities than Troy Athens did.
Yeah, there's no question about it. I mean, certainly the first play that the Dragons ran offensively was such that obviously went in Athens' favor. But from thereafter, you're right. The Lake Orion took advantage of the opportunities. Did not have to punt at all in the first half, and while Athens had to punt 3 different times, so they did a nice job of converting every possession they had, other than that first one, into points.
Yeah. And what can you say about Connor Grant? I mean, the guy's doing it all.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. He's gone from that inexperienced at quarterback to doing a nice job last week, and he was 8 of 10 in the first half tonight for 112 yards in the air, and he's had the protection, he's had the time to throw. He got lucky on the one tipped ball to Corey Esther on the post, but has thrown nice balls to be able to nice catchable balls by the Lake Orion receivers and backs. and it looks good under there. Looks good under center.
Let's take it down to our sideline reporter, Kevin McCormick.
iPod, touch.
Guys, even though the Dragons are dominating this game 27-7, they still feel like they have some work to do. They want to tighten up the defense a little bit and become a little bit more smothering against Troy Athens. So look for the defense to be even more dominant than they have been in the first half, and for the offense to continue the great play calling that they've done so far. That's what we got down here right now.
Thanks, Kevin. Just about ready to start the second half. Did you have any rushing stats?
I do. Lake Orion's 12 first downs to Troy Athens 6. Lake Orion rushed the ball 112 yards in the first half. Very balanced, 112 yards on the ground, 113 yards in the air for a total of 225 total yardage. Troy Athens 11 yards on the ground and 52 yards through the air, a total of 63 yards total offense. Troy Athens was 6 of 10 in the air. Each team had a fumble, and each team had one penalty as well. Troy Athens, as I mentioned earlier, punted 3 times for an average of 38 yards. As far as time of possession is concerned, pretty balanced. Almost 13 minutes for Troy Athens to Lake Orion's 11. So leading Lake Orion, again, talk about balance with the rushing game. We've got a number of guys carrying the football, 5 guys carried the football. Dom Giovinazzo has 6 carries, the most carries for 26 yards. Matt Krause, 5 carries for 34. Corey Esther, 3 carries for 18. Zach Arnold, 2 for 14. And Chris Lee, 1 for 13. In the air, Zach Green, 3 catches, 23 yards and a touchdown. Josh Bays, 1 reception, 18 yards and a touchdown. Corey Esther, 2 catches for 47 yards. So Chris Lee has a catch. Dom Giovinazzo has a catch. And those are your halftime statistics for Lake Orion. On the other side of the football, Luke Becerra leads. Actually, there's two backs, Derek Nelson and Luke Becerra, 3 carries each. Nelson for 7 yards, Becerra for 5. So, again, you look at the stats, dominated by Lake Orion. You look at the scoreboard, same thing.
Number 10, Brandon Van Kampen to kick off for Troy Athens. Comes down short, picked up by Kyle Bell. He's out over the 25 to the 26, 27-yard line where the Dragons will take over 1st and 10. I think one of the most noticeable statistics is that the Dragons didn't punt. Not that they didn't get in 3rd down situations, but they were always able to convert.
That's huge. I mean, the one time they had 3rd and 13, and they converted. And but bottom line, they don't put themselves in those situations to start with, and as a result, you don't have to worry about converting big 3rd down plays because you're not in them.
So Dragons come out, double wide, double slot look. Trips to the right, single wide out to the left. Corey Esther in the backfield. He gets the toss. It's over his head.
Ball.
Is that a live ball? It is, and it's knocked out of bounds. Yeah, when you throw that ball, if it goes backwards, it's still live. Corey did a good job to stay with it and knock it out of bounds.
Was it one of those bubble screens, or was it going to be some sort of double pass? I don't know, but luckily for the Dragons, it did go out of bounds and they retained possession.
It's a loss of 17, brings up a 2nd and 17. Ball's on the 20. Connor under center. Corey Esther in motion. Chris Lee with the carry. He's up close to the 30. Got back the lost yardage and a few. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 7 for the Dragons. Nothing fancy there. Just give it to your speedster.
Just a little inside trap there, and Chris Lee, as we talk about, has bulked up over the off season, and he still maintains that quality speed, a top-notch speed, and puts the Dragons into a 3rd and medium situation.
Bunch look. Connor rolling right, throws, and it's knocked down at the line.
Knocked down at the line. Chris Lee is flat out wide open coming across the middle. but the Athens.
Well, the Athens
Was that
defen-
Luke Becerra again?
That was Luke Becerra, and he did the lineman's prayer. If you can't get to him, jump up in the air and knock it down, and
You know what? That was ended up being number 24, Joey Cousins.
Yeah.
Luke Becerra was in the area, but Cousins came from his backer spot and knocked it down.
Defensive players are always told if you can't get to him, jump up, get the quarterback's vision. So Brad Schenzer on to punt. Left foots it, got a good kick away. Fair catch called for by Devin Taylor at the 35-yard line, where Athens will take over 1st and 10.
Well, Doug, I hope we didn't jinx the Dragons in that we just talked about, wow, one of the biggest statistics that we got out of the first half is they didn't have to punt. And then what do we do the first 3 and out of the second half? I hope that's not on us, is it?
Well, no, that's only because that little bubble screen wasn't complete. So Athens brings him out. Alex Masad is still the quarterback. Double wide, double slot look for the Redhawks. Toss back to number 88, Luke Becerra, and he's got about 5 up to the 40-yard line. Brought down number 55, Trent Elkins in on the tackle. Number 50, Brad Check-in. It's the guys' names. We call their names a lot during the course of a game. They're active defensive players, and a lot of them are defensive linemen.
That's what you like to see out of that front 4.
So 2nd and 5 from the 40. Masad in the gun. Back throws. Got Becerra. And he's close to a 1st down. We'll see how they call it. 1st down, Troy Athens.
You know, I was going to allude to that earlier, but that's Becerra's first catch of the game, and surprisingly, he's not a guy that they go to a lot in the air. And as big as he is, as strong as he is, he's carried the ball 4 times now in this game, but he's not one they go to the air. Here's the thing about him, though. He's got both Athens touchdowns this season. He scored one last year as a reception. He scored one on defense, and that's all they've got this year.
Masat kind of in a pistol formation now. And they're going to take a timeout. Number 8, Derek Nelson, wasn't quite sure if he should be behind the quarterback or alongside the quarterback. And Masat very wisely kept his eyes on the back judge. Back judge Fred Cassaveteris keeps a timer with him, and that's pegged to go off at 20 seconds, and then he gives arm gestures for the last 5 seconds. And Masat saw that and quickly called timeout when he could see that they probably weren't going to get the play off. I suppose you had a chance to talk to Mike Heath today?
I did. I just very briefly before the game.
Very proud dad.
Absolutely.
Former Dragon and Saginaw Valley State Cardinal Jeff Heath made the roster for the Dallas Cowboys. Will be playing Sunday night. Masat back to throw. He's taken off. He's up the middle and over midfield into Dragon territory. Doesn't have enough for the 1st down. He'll be about 3 yards short, but he gets a gain of 7.
Trenton Elkins did a nice job of continuing his pass rush from his down tackle position. Gets far upfield, pushes Nelson away, and is able to pursue Masat, hold him to a gain of 7.
And you got to give Troy Athens offensive line some credit. They did a good job of steering the Lake Orion pass rushers out of the way and cleared the room for Masat to step up. Little pass over the middle to Becerra. Brennan York on the stop. No gain on the play, so that brings up 3rd and 3 from the 48.
Let's try to run a little middle screen, it looks like, and allow the Lake Orion defenders to get upfield, and a little middle screen over the middle, but Rourke is there, and number 34, Brandon Gashier is there as well.
Number 7, Jake Nelson, split wide out right. Handoff goes to number 17, McHugh, and he's got a first down over the 45-yard line into Dragon territory.
Chris Lee was in position and had a chance to gain him for about a 1-yard gain. He's kind of limping off the field at this point in time. I don't know if it's a cramp or got hit in the thigh or what.
Yeah, he was coming off at a pretty good clip. So 1st and 10 for the Redhawks. And Bizarra jumped. So we have a procedure call against Athens. That'll back them up 5, make it 1st and 15. Trying to see Chris Lee on the sideline. It probably just got his toe stepped on. Give him a nice pack and a couple words of encouragement, and he'll be back out there. 7:18 left in the 3rd quarter. Dragons up 27-7. Ball's at midfield after the penalty. Masat back to throw, gonna run. And he was brought down after about a 7-yard gain. Number 42, Tanner Siebold, in on the tackle, among others.
Situation there, Luby from the top comes and gets so far upfield, but what that does then is provide a nice rush lane for Musat to at least get some yardage back and get the initial the penalty back plus some. So you got to Luby's got to do a tighter job coming off the edge and not allowing that rush lane for Musat to scramble.
Double wide, double slot look again. Musat in the shotgun. Dragons coming on a blitz. He's rolling. Pass is incomplete. Closest guy to the area was number 4, Christian James.
It looked like he had double A gap blitz, Connor Grant being one of them. Forced Musat to roll outside, and Grant was in pursuit of his counterpart. Quarterback / linebacker was in pursuit of his counterpart and forced the low throw.
So Athens find themselves in a 3rd and long situation again, and they hadn't really been in that situation this second half. Nelson split wide to the right. Bizarra in a slot right. Musat's a quarterback, drops back, got pressure, down he goes.
Elkins, check.
Elkins, check.
At all.
At all, exactly.
Here's the
Brandon Gash in there.
There's Check coming off the edge, does a nice job. Elkins, Musat couldn't do much right there, yeah. Brandon Gash is in there as well, so not much you could do when you've got that type of penetration.
So a 7-play drive for Athens ends up in punt formation. Kind of a rugby kick. He had no pressure at all. Number 20, Drew Casey, takes the punt and takes it out to where they're going to call. They're going to call it the 29-yard line, where the Dragons will take over 1st and 10. Pretty much the same lineup for the Dragons. Zach Arnold comes out. Chris Lee comes back out. He's in a slot left. Corey Esther in a slot left. Matt Krause is the running back. Toss back to Kraus. Drops the ball. Who's got it? Lake Orion recovered. That's one of those inexplicable things. You've got the ball, you've got it wrapped up, and as you're running, the ball just comes out.
You're running, you don't have it secure from the get-go, and Thomas
did
Selly,
not.
number 69, does a nice job of cradling it and falling on that football exactly like you're supposed to.
He did not have it cradled. There was a whole lot of football sticking out of his elbow. So 2nd down and 12. Giovanazzo up the middle. He's got a 1st down. Good run by Dom Giovanazzo.
Nice hole. He didn't get, it wasn't touched till he got about 5 yards upfield to that second level of linebackers and did a nice job running hard. There's the hole, there's the cut.
Yeah, Chris
makes
Lee's
a nice open field move. Actually, a nice open field tackle by number 24, Joey Cousins.
Chris Lee's coming back off again. That leg's hurting him. So Josh Bays checks in. Plays being signaled in from the sideline. Giovanazzo stays in as the running back. Timeout called by Lake Orion. That play just took too long to get called in and to get everyone in position.
I think it was all triggered by the fact that Chris Lee had to come out and different personnel in, and there was a situation as to who was lined up where. So better get the timeout than anything. Video classes are now enrolling. Reserve your seat today. Learn the basics of studio and field production with ONTV's staff of video professionals. We offer hands-on instruction in a fun atmosphere. Orion residents pay only $10. Call ONTV to find out more at 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060. Or visit our webpage, ONTV.org.
Let's quickly go down to Kevin McCormick.
Oh, that when you play for the Dragons, you're a Dragon for life. And so it's always nice when players come back and watch the current players play. We got with us right now Blake McGee, who played for the Dragons back in 2011. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
So he's here. He's checking out the Dragons and just making sure that they're doing their job on the field. So we're really glad to have him here tonight.
Thanks, Kevin. We have a false start penalty against the Dragons. That'll back them up 5, make it a 1st and 15. Ball moves back to the 35-yard line.
They're coming out of a timeout. It's certainly not what you want to have happen with a false start.
Absolutely not. The only thing worse than that's a delay a game after taking a timeout. Connor Grant under center. Giovanazzo up the middle. He's got a 1st down and a lot more into Athens territory down to the 40-yard line.
Same play call that they ran last time 2 plays ago when Giovanazzo ran the football, little trap inside. And again, he's not being touched until he gets into that secondary there. Okay, he was touched a little bit, but he's strong enough and physical enough to be able to run through that ankle tackle.
Giovanazzo again gets hit after a gain of 5. We have a late flag coming in. That was thrown by the umpire.
Yeah, I think they're going to get something away from the play.
We'll check the call from referee Lyle Sanderson. They're having a pretty good debate over this one. Personal foul against Troy Athens. That's huge. And
it's huge for both sides in that, it's obviously gives the Dragons 15 more yards, but Dom's been running the football hard this series, and they've started to open things up inside, and you're the, again, we've talked about it a lot. You're Athens, you're on the road, Lost 12 straight against the Dragons, and you just can't, you can't beat yourselves. You've got to put everything towards, you playing your best, and little things like that you have control over, and those things you just can't, you just can't do.
Takes the ball all the way down to the 23-yard line, where Dragons will have it 1st and 10 with 4 minutes left here in the third quarter. Corey Esther in motion. Number 10, Zach Serzo, gets the carry. He gets maybe a yard, gets 4 yards. Just waiting for the change to, do we have another flag down there? We do, we have a flag in the backfield. So we'll check the flag out.
Griffin Van Leer just came running into the
dead ball, personal foul, Lake Orion.
I think that is going to be on Jack Linklater. They're bringing him out of the game right now. Coach Bell's talking to him. Actually, it's not Coach Bell, it's Coach Tooley.
That's usually is when you let somebody get inside your helmet. And you're up 27-7, so really, it plays over, get back to your huddle. So it's 2nd down and a whole bunch. About 22 for the Dragons. Connor Grant, back to pass. Gets snowed under and he goes down. Becerra and who else was in there? Number 18.
Number 18, Patrick Bartnowak.
Yeah, they had a good head of steam up and they got in and Connor Grant just had nowhere to go. So this makes it 3rd down and a couple furlongs to go. Ball is spotted just outside the Dragons' 44-yard line. So they're calling it 3rd and 31. Connor back to throw. Goes deep. Just over the head of Zach Green. So it started out as a good drive, helped by a penalty, gets erased by a penalty.
You know, so if you're Coach Bell and the Dragons, you come out at halftime here and you're up 27-7. You had some momentum going into the half. You've come out and have had to punt the ball twice, and so that's something that a young football team and has got to be able to overcome and so to speak put the pedal down and take advantage of the opportunities that are out there and whether it's because of Athens playing well better or and them having to make adjustments or not.
I stepped to Schenzer and he got bumped and the ball goes into the end zone for a touchdown. Brad Schenzer's got to learn when those guys bump him, go down. We always tried to teach the punters, you went down like you just got chopped with an axe. You're going to get one of two things. You're going to get a call, or the referee's going to say, is going to look down at you and laugh at you. But, at least you try.
That's why you take drama class, right?
That's why you take acting classes. We got some changes coming up for the Dragons in the defensive back, on the defensive side. Number 4, but not a lot of changes. I thought they had the second strings in, it's still the first string. Massat still the quarterback. Call to number 8, Derek Nelson. He's up to the over the 30-yard line. Good enough for a first down for the Redhawks.
Nice they got first down, but Brad Chisholm does a nice job of coming from a safety spot and making a nice solid hit right about there. All right, nice job of getting his hands wrapped around the legs and keeping his head up and at least preventing Nelson from gaining any further.
Jake Nelson split wide to the right. Full house backfield for the Redhawks. Becerra gets the call and he goes nowhere. That was sniffed out early.
Yeah, that was Nelson again on that same play.
Jack Luby in on the tackle. And number 50, Brad Check. We've called his name a lot tonight. Under 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Troy Athens has it. Second down and 11. Ball's on their own 30-yard line. Troy Athens a little sloppy breaking the huddle. Nelson's in at quarterback. He's going to take it around the left end, and he's out of bounds near the 40. I don't think he got enough for the first down.
Yeah, that's a situation where you again, as an outside linebacker, your Sam or your flex linebacker, you've got to be able to make sure that you don't lose contain. And Luby did lose contain on that side, on that particular play, and Musat was able to scramble around to the left side for, close to the first down.
Third down and 2. We have an official's timeout. It's probably something with the clock.
It says 50 seconds on our scoreboard, and here in the stadium, Dragon Stadium, it says 1:04.
They're calling upstairs, and somebody from upstairs will call down here. Let's see who's right. They've got it set to 1:14. So it's third down and 2 for Troy Athens. Up under center, and they're stopped.
Look at all the green shirts in the backfield.
They ran into a stone wall of green.
You're right. I mean, there's not one white jersey on this side of the 40 where they needed to get well past.
Number 94, who's not on my roster, was in there. I think we had some uniform changes.
Great penetration by the Dragons defense.
It's wonderful. So that brings up 4th and 2, and Troy Athens is going to go for it.
I don't think they have a choice now.
Nelson splits out wide to the right. Musat's back under center. Becerra got the ball, and he didn't make it. He's still about a yard short.
That's just it. You give it to your best back, but if you don't have number 77 getting blown back and getting his shoulders turned, Brennan Rourke doing a nice job of getting penetration along with a host of other Dragons, and if you don't have that surge of those guys up front to be able to create holes and move defensive line, it doesn't matter how good you are in the backfield.
They're going to take a measurement, but from where the the yard marker, the down box is, he's way short. And it's Lake Orion's ball. Number 67, Justin Cathers, met him at the point of attack and just held on, leaned backwards, and pulled Becerra back toward his own end of the field, and then just waited for help.
Well, let's see the Dragons get something going here on their third possession of the third quarter.
Well, they got great field position. Ball's on the 41-yard line of Athens. 28.6 seconds left. My partner up here is calling for a pass. Bunch formation, trips to the right for the Dragons. Toss back to Corey Esther.
See, what do I know?
There's some of that track speed. Touchdown, Lake Orion Dragons.
No, that's what I was calling for. That's what I was calling for. And touchdown. I pointed that way because I thought it was going to be a touchdown.
That flick of the wrist.
That's right. That's right.
Just a little arthritis.
That's right.
Yeah.
Corey Esther, great job on the perimeter blocking number 8. Great job, Zach Bays blocking downfield. I'm sorry, Zach Green blocking downfield. And then you're right, the track speed takes over. The Dragon speed takes over. Lake Orion goes up by 26.
He took number 17, McHugh, and just pushed him out of bounds. Like, get out of my way. So Bellavacqua on for the extra point. And the kick is blocked. So with 2:11, I think it's 21.1 seconds left here in the third quarter. The Dragons lead 33-7.
And you look at the score, and it is what it is, 33-7. But as you know, there's always something to work on. You know, they've had one missed extra point, one block.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, Coach Blackstock is going to be certainly working on and concerned about that particular unit.
We'll remind you again that DVD copies can be purchased by calling ONTV at 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060. For only $10, you can get a copy of not only this game, but any game or program in our broadcast vault. DVD copies, 248-693-3377 or 248-393-1060. Brad Schenzer in to kick off. Parries deep for Troy Athens. He collects the kick on the 4. Up over the 20 to the 25, 26-yard line where he's taken down. Athens will take over 1st and 10. Number 4, Christian James in on the tackle on special teams. So for Troy Athens, you've got to get some points on the board. They're just running out of time. 14 seconds left here in the third quarter. Masat is the quarterback. Kind of an offside handoff. Trying to see who the ball carrier was.
For 17.
17, McHugh, Brennan McHugh. And that's the end of the third quarter. Your score, Lake Orion 33, Troy Athens 7. We'll be right back. Start of the fourth quarter, Dragons up 33-7. Doug Corliss, Chris Fishing, our sideline reporter, Kevin McCormick, all with you, bringing you the action at this home opener for the 2013 season. Troy Athens will have the ball, 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line. Troy Athens' starting positions have been their own 15, their own 23, their own 30, their own 24, their own 35, their own 20, and their own 27. Lake Orion's possessions have started at their own 41, the Troy Athens 37, Orion's 20, Orion's 31 and 30, and the last one started at the Athens 41-yard line. What have we said? Field position is such a big determiner for scoring points. Masat back to throw. Throws right. Got a receiver. That's number 7, Nelson. He's got a first down over the 40-yard line.
Musat does a nice job. They do a nice job of picking up the outside perimeter blitz or rush off the edge. And he throws a nice football. He throws a nice football, and he's got a nice arm. And
number 45, Thomas Babich, in on the tackle for the Dragons.
They just haven't been able to establish a running game to balance what passing attack they have.
Toss back to Nelson. He was going to stop and pass, and he decided to run, and he's got a first down out of it. He took the flip back, looked like he was going to stop and throw, and then just tucked it in and came back the way he came from.
Yep.
And got a good gain out of it.
You know, and the main part of that reason is he's number 50, Brad Check, kept stringing the play out, and forcing, you know, Nelson to have to retrack and get what he could.
Good tackle.
Yep, you saw
Great
that
tackle,
coming.
Charlie Hyland.
You saw that coming, though.
Brought Musat down.
And as soon as he did make the tackle, kind of stood up and stood over the
Are they going to call him for a taunt?
Yep.
Yes, they are. And he did kind of give a little in your face, but it was a good open field tackle.
It was a nice one. And you know, as excited as you get as a player out there, and you want to celebrate the fact that you did well, you know, you can't, you know, stand over somebody and throw your arms out like Charlie did in that particular situation. So, again, something to learn from, something to work on, and just go make the next play.
Yep.
And do it without the demonstration.
Get back in the huddle. So that moves the ball up to the Dragons' 27-yard line, where Troy Athens has it 1st and 10. 11-10 left here in the fourth quarter. Musat is still a quarterback, single setback. He's going to throw. He's got Nelson over on the right flat. He ducks out of bounds at about the 22-yard line.
You know, that's one thing. If you're Troy Athens, you're down by 26 right now. They haven't shown a propensity to go up top, go deep. It's been this short, this intermediate stuff, and yes, he throws a nice ball, but Musat does. But you know, you're down by 26 with under 11 minutes to go. You got to start putting the ball up in the air, and you got to start mixing it up a little bit and taking your chances downfield.
Number 8, Derek Nelson, is in a slot right. Jake Nelson split wide right. Musat, little shovel pass. Is that to McHugh?
They ran that little shovel pass last week against Warren Mott.
There it was. Brendan McHugh.
Was a little more successful last week when I saw it.
No gain on the play. Maybe a half a yard loss. It's 3rd down, 4 to go. Ball's on the 22. Musat going to run it, and he's not going to get the first down. He got maybe a yard.
Look at how many Dragons are around the football. I mean, there's 6,
Tanner
7 guys there.
Seabold is there.
There's 6, 7 guys around that
Brennan
football.
York is there. Rourke is there. Brad Check is there.
I mean, that's the way you play team tackling football. You don't have to be great individual tacklers, although there's a lot of Dragon defenders that are. But if you're a good quality tackling football team and can corral the ball carrier and get that many hands to the football, you're going to be a darn good defense.
So it's 4th down and 4, and they're trying a field goal. High snap, whether by design, the ball went over the holder's hand into Brian Lawson, who was the kicker. he took it around left end. I think it was just a high snap that the kicker had the presence of mind to grab it and try to make something with it. And who made the tackle? Our quarterback, Connor Grant. So the Dragons take over on downs. They'll have it 1st and 10 from their own 22. Not a lot of changes in the Dragon offense. Trying to see who the running
26,
back is.
Justin Pavlicek is in at the single back.
He gets his first carry and gets a pretty good run out of it. 1st down. Straight up the gut.
I mean, think about the averages per yards per carry that each of the backs get. I mean, it's pretty impressive. Nice hard-nosed run.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're getting to the second level without being touched on many occasions. And that's just a tribute to what the offensive line is doing up front.
Zach Arnold in motion. He gets the ball going around the right side. Broke a tackle. He's got a 1st down and more.
Yes, he does.
And there's the speed.
Wow, wow, wow.
Touchdown, Lake Orion Dragons.
Patience, speed. You know,
wow.
The ability to see a cutback lane. A lot of things combined there. Bottom line, it was successful for the Dragons. Put 6 more on the board.
64-yard touchdown run by Zach Arnold.
Watch it again, doing a great job up front. When you over pursue, you cut back and you keep those feet churning and you keep driving and driving. Nice block right there. Look at the pursuit and the help downfield. 1, 2, 3, 4 Dragons guys. 30, 40 yards downfield, still continuing to do the job, knowing the play's not over. Well done, well executed.
And he just split those last 2 defenders and they couldn't catch him. Kick is up and the kick is good by Belavacqua. 8:46 left here in the game. Your score, Lake Orion 40, Troy Athens 7.
What does that do for your yards per carry?
Boy. And you know, we've always seen the big play capability, but you know, you've got 2 or 3 guys on this team that were members of a state championship track team. We've always said it. You can coach to catch the ball, you can coach to throw the ball. You can't coach speed. And this Dragon team has speed.
We've always known, I mean, both sides of the football for that matter. I mean, and unfortunately, and maybe fortunately I should say, we take it sometimes for granted.
We do.
You know, and it seems like every single year Lake Orion's producing guys with that type of speed.
Schenzer puts a foot into it, takes it down to about the 5. Brought back to the 25 and over the 30, where Athens will take over 1st and 10. I think that was Devin Terry on the return. So we should see some changes in the defensive backfield. See number 30, Jalen Wiggins, playing 1 corner position. Number 9, Brad Chisholm, in at a safety position. Number 33, Logan Shadiah, in at a defensive end. We'll try to keep up with the changes. 1st and 10 for Troy Athens. Mossad is still the quarterback. And we got a flag. One of the Lake Orion players jumped, and that caused one of the Athens players. They're calling it encroachment on the Dragons, so that'll move them up 5.
And number 60, Josh Duncan, the left defensive tackle, encroached right there. And
yeah, but he had good form when he did it. So 1st and 5. Number 14, Taylor Gasco, is in at one of the wideout positions. Masat throws, incomplete. That'll bring up 2nd and 5.
Let's try to sneak number 28, Devin Terry, out of the backfield over the middle, and looked like he threw it a little bit too hard and behind. It makes a difficult ball to catch. You know, it's tough for a wide receiver or back to go over the middle and catch a football. And
Joe Cousins now split wide left for the Redhawks. Masat back to throw, got pressure, gonna run, and good tackle. Number 27, Charlie Corey. Good open field tackle, short of the 1st down.
yeah, it's one thing I think the Lake Orion is going to look at defensively is that, you know, while they've been able to provide some quality pass rush, they're also opening up some running lanes for an athletic quarterback. So as you start working your way through the season, the ability to cut down on those rush lanes are going to be real important.
3rd and 1. 1st down and more. That was number 1, Lorenz Banks, on the carry for Troy Athens. We have number 5 or 25, Austin Taylor, in at a cornerback position. Masat back to pass, got pressure, drops the ball, and Lake Orion, of course, is saying they have it.
Great penetration by Trey Coachman up the middle, and Musat didn't know what to do.
A sign.
No, I know.
They're going to give it. It's going to stay Athens ball.
Musat didn't know what to do with the ball. He tries to scramble and doesn't tuck it. He still wants to be a dual threat. He sees Coachman right up the middle, barely touched, and starts rolling out and just flat out loses the football.
Yeah, Trey Coachman had pressure, and he just outran it. Again, he just didn't have control of the ball while he was running. So it's 2nd and 17. The ball's on the 47-yard line. 6:45 left here in the 4th. Mustafa throws. Got Bizarra. 1st down. Good gain down to the Lake Orion 25-yard line.
Nice throw, nice catch right down the seam. That's, again, like I said earlier, that's one thing I'm surprised they haven't done more of, is find him in those holes, in those ways, get him the football. He's a big, wide body.
Yeah.
You know, he can box out some defenders and catch footballs, and he's strong enough to be able to get downfield.
He comes out on a slot left now, 1st and 10. Intended for Jake Nelson. He just kind of slipped on his cut, couldn't get back to the ball. He cut in, and Masat threw the ball out. So that brings up 2nd and 10 from the 25-yard line. 6:09 left of the game. Dragons up 40-7.
One of those things I know Coach Tooley's going to be focused on is, you know what, he hasn't given up. The defense is not giving up any points tonight. He's going to want to say to his team, you know what, let's not give up. Let's not give up.
Sure.
You know, take a little pride in doing just that.
Musat rolling right, looking to throw, and just runs it out of bounds after maybe a 2-yard gain. But, you know, at the same time, this game isn't over by any means, but you've got a 33-point lead. you're midway through the fourth quarter. This is when they're going to start substituting and getting some of these young guys some playing time early in the season. And it's like we've talked about year after year, that when these guys finally are ready to step into a starting role, they've had that game experience.
It's vital. It's crucial with a big program numbers-wise, like Lake Orion produces every year.
3rd and 10, first down. Ball caught by number 28, Devin Terry. Brought down by number 40, Jack Slayton, and others. Let's see, what do we got? What do we have out there? We have number 33, Logan Shadiah, in at one defensive end. So it's 1st and 10 from the Dragons' 15-yard line, and Musat goes down. He had nowhere to go. Number 45, Tom Babich, in on the stop, and others. Same thing. Devin Fulcher is in at one of the defensive end spots for the Dragons.
Yeah, it's a situation. I was just about to say that Athens calls a timeout. The situation, there's not a lot of get up and go with the Athens offense. They're just kind of still, clock's running on them and so forth. And they got to get some plays off. They got to run as many plays as they can.
Sure, it's 40-7, but you still have to show a little sense of urgency.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, it's been other than that very first possession when Lake Orion turned the ball over and Bazera ran it back for a fumble recovery touchdown. It has been a dominant game by the Dragons. A lot of things to be able to build off of this game. A lot of kids getting some time, some quality time, working out some of the kinks that Coach Bell talked about at the end of that Friday night game into that Saturday game last week. He said he had a lot of young kids playing the game, and they played like young kids. And it's situations like these that, again, will go a long ways towards building confidence in their defense, really on their offense as well. So, nice showing tonight by the Dragons.
We'll be back here next week. West Bloomfield comes to Dragon Stadium. We'll have it for you on Orion Neighborhood Television. Musat on the toss back. Number 28, Devin Terry on the run. Good run. He's down to the 5. It'll be 1st and goal for Troy Athens.
Run a little option, which they run a little bit of. They do it well, typically not with Musat, and Terry does a nice job of getting out in the open field. Nice tackle by number 20, Drew Casey.
So 1st and goal. They got the ball. Yeah, 1st and goal on the 5. They're going to measure. And it's not a first down. So it'll be 3rd down and less than a yard, probably less than a foot. Athens comes out, still in the shotgun. Throw incomplete. Intended for number 7, Jake Nelson.
Broken up by number 27, Charlie Corey.
Yeah, and for these young guys, it's not a lot. It's not very different from practice. You're playing on a scout defense. You're getting passes thrown at you. You're going through defensive pass drills the same as everybody else.
Now it's just against somebody in the opposite color.
Dressed different, exactly.
I think Lake Orion called that timeout, making sure that, you know, situationally with these second string guys that they're comfortable and they know where they need to be lined up.
Now, like you said, Coach Tooley's telling them, you know
Yep.
what? You pitched a shutout so far. Don't give it up.
That's a great thing about this coaching staff too, is they do a nice job of coaching everybody 1 through 90, no matter where you are,
Exactly.
95 or however many it is nowadays. The development of the kids from the varsity level all the way down is so important, and thus the reason for the success of the program for all these number of years.
First down, but not a touchdown. Mossad on the keeper around the right side. He found a little hole, and they'll call it 1st and goal from the 1.
And he had 2 guys going with Becerra, and then can't half blame him, thinking that Becerra is going to get the ball on the little dive, especially that short. But
You may see him get it now. He split out on a slot left. Give to number 4, Luke Spinak.
very close.
He didn't get in.
He didn't know.
Who met him first?
Number
Brad-
40, Jack Slayton was in on the stop.
So 2nd down in inches. In the meantime, this is just eating clock. Fumbled the snap, and he's down. Oh my. The snap was off to his left.
Hasn't been bad all night. They're 3rd in inches, or so they were 2nd in inches. Hasn't been bad all night, and
I don't think he was expecting the ball when he snapped it.
that could be.
All night long, he's been clapping his hands, and that's been the center's cue to snap the ball, and I think the center snapped it a little early. So 3rd and 5 from the 5. 2:45 left here in the, and he doesn't make it. He's in on the stop.
Kid running that little dive option play, and he kind of stumbles over his feet as the back goes through. He trips over his own feet as he's trying to pull it and keep it. When had he been able to maintain his balance, he could have pitched it and probably would have gotten 6.
Who got in on that tackle? Was that Tanner Seabold, number 42?
You don't think this is a big play for the Dragons, do you? You don't think this is a big play, huh? Do you? How about that? How about that?
How about that?
You got to be proud. You got to be happy. Look at the excitement. Look at the jubilation. That's great.
Number
That's great.
52, Dom Maduri, led the charge.
Well done, guys. Well done.
Great job by the defensive front.
That's something to hang your hat on.
And he just had no place to go. Number 83, Trey Coachman, hit him first. And then everyone else just followed.
2nd in inches, and they still don't score. Athens all season has only had 1 offensive touchdown.
Unbelievable. So the Dragons take over, 1st and 10. New quarterback in there, number 8, Cameron Costas, and they're high on this kid. They think he's going to be a great quarterback. 5'8", 170 in the Bobby Klaus mold.
Not left-handed, though, is he?
No, he's not left-handed. Let's see, we got number 6, Ryan Wood, split out wide right. Number 11, Hunter Reed's in a slot left. Hunter Reed with the ball. And he's up to about the 20. A minute and 15 left in the game. Dragons up 40-7.
Nice home opener for the Dragons, huh?
Absolutely. Costas came over to get the play from Coach Tooley, Coach Darren Tooley. And he's just going to watch, and he's going to watch the back judge. Handoff up the middle. Number 26, Justin Pavlicek. They'll move the chains. He got a first down out of it. They'll have to run one more play. Costas under center. Handoff to number 10, Matt Scherzo. He's still moving inside the Athens 40. They stopped the clock with 12.2 seconds left.
We talk about depth, we talk about speed. I mean,
Matt Scherzo just got that ball, found a crease, and turned on the Jets.
My goodness.
This should be the last play. Oh, they're going to let the clock run. Your final score tonight, the Lake Orion Dragons 40, the Troy Athens Redhawks 7. You're watching exclusive coverage of Lake Orion's Dragon football here on Orion Neighborhood Television. We'll be right back. Down on the field after a rather convincing 40-7 victory over the Troy Athens Redhawks. Chris, we talked about it through the game that this game tonight, especially late in the game, showed some of that don't give up, never say die attitude that the Dragons, especially the coaching staff, reflect on.
Play 4 quarters, coach 4 quarters. I mean, the game might have been out of hand early on, but you got guys working their tails off. You got coaches coaching their tails off, and that's why Lake Orion's, one of the reasons Lake Orion's been good for so long, because they're going to take every opportunity to be able to work and get better, to coach and get better, and you saw that there. As soon as that second squad defensively held Athens from scoring, I mean, this place erupts over here, not only in the stands but on the sidelines. They're proud, they're excited, they're enthusiastic that the defense didn't give up any points, and so very prideful, very, very nice outing for the Dragons tonight.
Offensively, we saw, I guess you saw speed, and more speed, and it came up the middle, it came around the ends, everywhere you turned, you just saw speed.
Lee, Esther, Giovinazzo, Bay's got involved, and so forth. So there's a lot of options, as we've always talked about, not only vertically in the passing game and so forth, but also on the perimeter and up the middle. And it's hard for a defense who maybe doesn't have a lot of talent or is inexperienced. It's hard to be able to try to focus on one guy, because there's multiple guys that you have to focus on.
Coach, congratulations on a great win tonight.
Thank you.
We were talking about a couple things. Primarily, you showed speed everywhere on the football field tonight.
Yeah, I thought we improved. We improved up front defensively. We shut down the inside run game. We're still not doing a good job on the edges and containing the quarterback in key down situations. Especially, I think we took some steps forward, but we were also very, very sloppy, and we have to clean these things up. We were sloppy on special teams, blown assignments even on offense, missed opportunities. So, I mean, we made some plays, and the score was what it should have been, but it should have been that earlier, and we just have to get better. We got to get better. We got to practice better, and we got to clean those things up.
Talk about the development over the course of 2 games of your quarterback, Connor Grant. He's been very, very efficient in throwing the ball and obviously managing the game well on the run game with all the weapons you have in the backfield. But talk about his development over what you've seen over the course of 2 games that you like out of him.
You know, it's a cliche, obviously, but it's like having a coach on the field. And the number thing Connor does is, number one, he competes. He's tough, he competes, and he's very smart. He anticipates things. He knows where the ball's got to go. And that's it. I mean, the guy hangs in there and you know, plays with great courage, plays with great leadership. So, I mean, he's a good one. And if we can just keep him healthy, we got to get him off the field on defense a little bit. Hopefully those other linebackers come in so we can spell him a little bit. But yeah, I think he's got more is going to be on his shoulders, obviously. Very happy the way he's playing.
4th quarter, that last stand deep in your territory, you had a lot of your 2s in. You took a timeout. Coach Tooley went out and talked to him. You ended up stopping him with a 2nd and 1 from inside your 1. Talk about that last drive with the new kids in there.
But, you know, when you step on the field, you're expected to play well. You know, we're not going to stop coaching depending on who's out there. When you go, we want you to play well. We want you to do well. We want you to compete. And, you know, it doesn't matter who's out there or what stage of the game is. It's very important that those guys play. And I think that one of the greatest things as a coach is to see those young guys get a stop and to see them come off the field as excited as they were and be able to celebrate with them. So that's pretty awesome.
West Bloomfield next week. We'll see you there.
Okay.
Thanks, Coach.
Chris. Thanks, Chris.
That'll about do it from down here on the field. Again, our final score, Lake Orion 40, Troy Athens 7. We'll be back next week for the other home game against West Bloomfield. Until then, for our producer, director, Joe Velez, our entire ONTV crew, our sideline reporter, Kevin McCormick, my broadcast partner, Chris Frisching, and myself, good night, everyone.